What if the problem is not that they are drinking too little water, but that they are drinking it the wrong way, at the wrong time, with the wrong support, and then wondering why their hands feel cold, their legs feel heavy, their energy disappears by noon, and their body feels like it is moving through mud instead of moving with life? Because after 60, the body changes. And these changes are not loud. They do not always announce themselves with pain. Sometimes they whisper. They whisper through fatigue. They whisper through dizziness. They whisper through dry mouth. They whisper through dark urine. They whisper through that strange feeling that your body is working harder than it should just to do simple things. And that is exactly why today's message matters. Because if you are over 60, plain water may no longer be the smartest full answer by itself. Not because water is bad. Water is not the enemy. Water is life. Water is essential. Water helps the heart pump blood, helps the body regulate temperature, and supports the basic machinery of life. But here is the part most people miss. The body is not a bucket. It is not enough to just pour water in and hope everything else magically works. The body is an intelligent, living system. It needs balance. It needs timing. It needs movement. It needs minerals. It needs support. And when that balance is missing, even a healthy habit can feel ineffective. That is why many older adults drink water all day and still feel tired, still feel sluggish, still feel foggy, still feel like their circulation is not where it should be. And that is where the real trick begins. Not a gimmick, not a miracle, a real, practical trick. The trick is this. Do not drink plain water as if the body only needs volume. Drink in a way that supports absorption, circulation, and cellular function. Let me say that again. Do not think in terms of just more water. Think in terms of better hydration, because hydration is not only about what goes into the mouth. It is about what the body can actually use. And after 60, that matters more than ever. Older adults are more likely to develop dehydration, and dehydration can cause weakness, dizziness, tiredness, and reduced urination. Now, when people hear a title like this, they often expect something dramatic. Some secret pill, some magical drink, some overnight fix. But the truth is much better than that, because the best solutions are often the ones that respect how the body actually works. And your body works through circulation. Blood flow is not just a medical word. Blood flow is life delivery. It is oxygen delivery. It is nutrient delivery. It is heat delivery. It is repair delivery. It is how your brain stays sharp enough to think clearly. It is how your legs stay strong enough to walk. It is how your skin stays nourished. It is how your organs stay in conversation with one another. And when circulation is strained, the body feels it everywhere. That is why even small daily habits can matter. A short walk, gentle movement after meals, standing up often, slow stretches, light activity. These simple actions help support circulation in the real world, not just in theory. And when you combine movement with smart hydration, something interesting happens. The body begins to cooperate instead of resist. The system becomes easier to move. The blood has less reason to feel stuck. The heart does not have to work as hard just to keep things going. Hydration helps the heart pump blood more easily, and staying hydrated supports the body's ability to function efficiently. That is the heart of this message. Not water alone, not movement alone, not minerals alone. The combination. Because the body thrives when signals work together. And after 60, your body is constantly telling you what it needs. The problem is, many people are not listening. They wait until thirst becomes obvious. They wait until weakness becomes a pattern. They wait until the afternoon crash becomes normal. They wait until standing up feels like a project. But by then, the body has already been trying to speak for a while. That is why hydration in older age should be intentional. Not random, not occasional, not only when you suddenly remember. Intentional. And one of the smartest habits is to stop treating all fluids as equal in the way you think about them. Water is still important, But your body also gets fluid from food and other beverages, and there is no single water amount that fits every adult. Needs depend on age, activity, climate, weight, sex, and health conditions. That means your goal is not to force a dramatic number into your head. Your goal is to stay in the zone where your body feels supported. Now here's the practical part. If you want better circulation support, begin with the simplest possible move. Drink in a way that your body can actually absorb well. That means not waiting until you are already dry. That means not chugging huge amounts all at once and hoping for the best. That means pairing fluid with minerals through meals, soups, fruits, and vegetables. That means paying attention to whether your urine is too dark, whether your mouth is dry, whether your energy is crashing, whether you feel dizzy, and whether your legs feel heavy or weak. This is not about fear. This is about awareness. Because the older body is a more sensitive body. It reacts differently. It may not scream the same way a younger body screams. Sometimes it simply slows down. Sometimes it becomes less responsive. Sometimes thirst is not as strong, even when the body needs fluid. That is one reason older adults are at higher risk for dehydration. And that is exactly why the one trick is not just about water. The trick is to create a circulation-friendly hydration routine. Let me give you the picture. Imagine the blood vessels like roads. Imagine the blood like traffic. Imagine water as one part of what keeps that traffic moving smoothly. Now, if the roads are dry, if the system is sluggish, if the body is underfueled, that traffic slows. Not necessarily in one dramatic moment, but gradually, quietly, daily. And that is how people lose energy. That is how they feel older than they should. That is how they start saying things like, "I just do not bounce back like I used to." And maybe they blame age. But the real issue may be simpler. The real issue may be hydration quality. The real issue may be circulation support. The real issue may be that the body is asking for help and only getting plain water when it needs a smarter strategy. Now, let me be careful here. No drink is a magic cure. No beverage can replace medical care. And if someone has heart failure, kidney disease, or another condition that affects fluid intake, they should follow the guidance of their clinician. The American Heart Association notes that fluid intake can need special attention in heart failure, and lifestyle advice should be individualized. But for the everyday, healthy older adult, the message is powerful. Hydrate wisely. Hydrate steadily. Hydrate with food support. Hydrate with movement. Hydrate with awareness. Because the body does not just need water, it needs a system that knows what to do with the water. And when you give it that system, you often feel the difference fast. You feel it in your alertness. You feel it in your joints. You feel it in your walking. You feel it in your appetite. You feel it in your thinking. You feel it in your stamina. You feel it in your mood. You feel it in that subtle but powerful sense that your body is less dragged down and more alive. That is what people are really searching for. Not a miracle, not a headline. They are searching for relief. They are searching for energy. They are searching for a way to feel like themselves again. And sometimes the first answer is embarrassingly simple. Drink before you are thirsty. Sip instead of waiting. Support your fluids with foods that contain water. Add movement to help circulation. Notice the signals before the problem becomes a crisis. Because once the body becomes dehydrated, everything starts to feel harder. The heart works harder, the brain works harder, the muscles work harder, the body becomes less efficient. And efficiency is what keeps aging from feeling like collapse. Aging does not have to mean falling apart. Aging can mean becoming wiser. It can mean becoming more precise. It can mean becoming more respectful of the body's language. It can mean choosing habits that match the season of life you are in. And after 60, the season of life says this very clearly. Do not ignore hydration. Do not wait for thirst to be your alarm. Do not assume plain water on its own at any random time is the whole answer. Build the habit. Build the rhythm. Build the support. Because circulation improves when the body is cared for as a system, not as a single pipe. And that system starts with a simple question every morning. What is my body asking for today? Sometimes the answer is rest. Sometimes the answer is movement. Sometimes the answer is better food. And sometimes the answer is fluid. Not just any fluid. Fluid used wisely. Fluid used consistently. Fluid used with intention. That is where the real transformation begins. And if you are over 60, that may be one of the most important habits you can build. Not because it sounds dramatic, but because it is practical, because it is doable, because it fits inside real life, and because real life is where health is won. A healthy body is not built by one giant decision. It is built by 1,000 small ones. One glass, one walk, one meal, one choice, one habit. One smarter way to support circulation today. So no, the message is not to fear plain water. The message is to stop thinking that plain water alone is the whole story. The message is to think bigger, to think smarter, to think like someone who understands that the body after 60 deserves more than guesswork. It deserves strategy. It deserves rhythm. It deserves respect. And when you give your body that respect, your body often gives you something back. More steadiness, more comfort, more energy, more flow, more life. That is why this one trick matters. Not because it is magical, because it is aligned with how the body works. Hydrate wisely, move gently, pay attention early, and let your circulation have the support it has been asking for all along. Because the goal is not just to drink water. The goal is to help your body use it. And when you do that, everything changes. You move better, you think clearer, you feel lighter, you recover faster. You live with more signal and less noise. And that is the kind of aging everyone deserves. Not weaker, not foggier, not slower, wiser, stronger, clearer, more alive. So today, start with one simple decision. Do not just reach for water, reach for better hydration. Support it with movement, support it with food, support it with awareness, support it with a body that finally feels listened to. Because after 60, the smartest health move is not always the loudest one. Sometimes it is the quiet one. Sometimes it is the one people overlook. Sometimes it is the one that seems too simple to matter. And yet, that is exactly the one that can change how your body feels from the inside out.